Today I fucked up by using the ATM. I guess I flew a week ago, but found out today. The setup, I'm disabled, hopefully, temporarily. My state pays disability into a separate account. I have my main bank account at the same bank that deals with disability accounts. I went to an ATM that is bank branded and took out money for groceries. The state ATM cards are not chip enabled, so I try to be careful about accessing. Even though it's a debit card, I never use it as one. For example, I hadn't used the card since. Tried today and card was declined. There was 7.53 left in it. There was a FB post in my town's group about this ATM. A lot of people are having this experience. We think a skimmer was attached to that ATM. I lost 5k. Called the bank to report fraud, and now both my disability and regular account are frozen temporarily. Apparently if I'm lucky I'll get the money back in 2 weeks. I need to buy meds and pay rent at the end of the month. I can't easily breathe without meds. I have to take painkillers for nerve issues. I'm screwed and going to be in pain really soon. Banks suck. Too long didn't read. Used ATM that had a skimmer. Lost money for rent and meds. Banks suck. Do you have a Venmo or GoFundMe? I'd gladly pay for your meds. I really appreciate the offer. I've got enough meds for the week. Hopefully they clear it up before I run out. Honestly, this is why I made the post. Just needed a little support, emotionally. I really appreciate that you said it. It's like an internet hug. I've been paranoid about those skimmers, so I always check the card slot at gas stations and stuff for the XD. It seriously sucks though. We are now, thanks to Corona, finally winding up in a place where you can pay most things by card/contactless. But every time I need cash I check the device carefully and cover my hand typing in the numbers so that if they've installed a camera there it won't work. Still, 4 numbers is too easy to brute force. You hope you're disabled? I think the op meant hopefully temporary, not disabled hopefully. Get a bank that allows you to turn your debit card on and off. I work in bank fraud for debit cards. Debit cards in general are not guaranteed, so unless a merchant that took the card made some verifiable mistake or the bank or Visa feel generous, normally that money is gone. Unfortunately, I use a bank that allows me to turn my card on and off through the app, so it is literally always off unless I am using it. Exactly, I work for a bank/insurance company. I work for the insurance side of the company, but my significant other actually works for the bank that operates in many countries, and after seeing our fraud process for debit cards versus credit cards, I almost exclusively use my credit card and just pay it off each day or two. You say that banks suck, but in this instance it's really the scammers that suck. The banking industry is terrible, but not in this situation. Or they froze my normal account as well. The one with no fraud because it had associated transfers. They are both sick. Today I fucked up by falling for a very obvious scam. BC, I am mentally unstable. Scam likely calls aren't very common where I live, but I know about them through US media. I've been getting some scam calls and hanging up and blocking the numbers. My fave one was this dude who thought he was addressing me as Miss or Mom but was actually addressing me as woman. Lamau Google Translate is not your friend, my dude. But there was this one that seemed kind of legit. I was a bit confused, told them to call me another time and told my partner about it. About how it felt weird, but kinda legit. Dunno. Well, they tried reaching me during the peak of an ongoing crisis and I asked to reschedule. When I had gained barely enough distance from that crisis and started being able to think rationally again, they called again. I listened, wrote everything down. They had a lot of my sensible data already. Then they asked for more sensible data and I was a bit weirded out. Still, I gave it to them, but not the main one. Still, they could cause some damage with that. After I hang up I immediately realized what had happened and tried to reach them to revoke, but I couldn't reach them. I realized then that they'd always called from slightly different numbers. They luckily called me again later, quality control, and apparently I was able to revoke and they deleted my data. Not that I really trust them. Obviously I called all relevant parties, informed them of what had happened, and I also reported that company to consumer protection. Also, I took some more measures. I think I'll be okay. but I am so annoyed about my stupidity. I am going through a lot, just found out I am pregnant, and ever since, my partner has been trying to hurt himself 3 times in 3 weeks. I had to put him in a clinic on Monday, and that's why I couldn't think straight till yesterday, after the call, Lamau. I also found out that my 15 years/old dog is in the process of dying. And it's hard, I know it can happen to anyone, but I am so annoyed. BC, I am so able to identify scams, but then I go ahead and fall for others. Too long didn't read, I fell for a scam. BC, I am in the middle of a crisis and I'm very angry with myself. Edit, I lost all my contacts last week. BC, my phone broke inadvertently, and BC of my current situation, I get many calls from unknown numbers, Ubjin, police stations, mental health professionals. Also, in my country we don't really have an issue with scam calls, and this number was from a landline. But I will try to find and save my contacts as quickly and thoroughly as possible, and will start to Google unknown numbers again. Thank you for your advice. Damn, it must be really tough going through all of that at the same time. I hope you stay strong throughout. By the way, this was hilarious. My fave one was this dude who thought he was addressing me as miss or mom but was actually addressing me as woman. Lamau, Google Translate is not your friend, my dude. Scammers really do know how to be assholes. Taking advantage of someone's kindness and goodwill like that is just a shitty thing to do. Luckily you were smarter than them. Wishing you, your so and your dog the best. Stay strong, everything will get better soon. Yeah, that really made me laugh. It was like, hello, woman. Can you hear me, woman? This is Microsoft support calling, woman. I didn't correct them, hung up, and had a great laugh about it. Thank you so much, that's very kind of you. Smile. You shouldn't blame it on yourself, it's called abuse of a state of weakness, translated from French. If there is a term in English, emphasis on state. You were vulnerable at that moment and did something you wouldn't have done if you weren't in that state of weakness. You did what you could to make it right. Some people would have just gave up and done nothing. That's alright as well. It takes a lot of energy to make the right decision and correct actions. Sometimes it's difficult. You're not stupid, you were just weakened. The situation you're in seems difficult and mistakes are bound to happen. You know you did something wrong and that's it. The people to blame are the one organizing the scams. Have a nice day, allow you some space to breathe. You're having it rough right now but it is temporary. Smile. Thank you so much for your kind words, they really made me feel better. I was able to secure some more things today, so I feel a bit better now, knowing I won't lose any money on this. You really made me feel better, merci beaucoup, tu es très gentil. 3. I had a scam call this morning at 6:30. I was so pissed I called the number back. Auto dialer said it was Social Security calling about a legal matter and I needed to call back to resolve it, and ripped into the guy who answered. He told me to suck his dick and hung up. So I called back. He hung up again when I told him he was a little bitch who was too pathetic to get a job, which is why he has to attempt to steal from people. So I called back. Played this game, trading insults each call, 37 more times over a 20-minute period. I told him I am disabled and would literally use my unlimited calling plan to call them all day and that I would continue doing it to every number they called me from in the future. Dude finally got so annoyed he promised to never ever call me again if I stopped. Fuck those guys. Edit, hey, thanks for the award. Exclamation mark. Just put their number out on lendingtree.com. Let every lender in America do the job for you. Blimey, that sounds rough. We've all done silly things. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. You could have done worse, a lot worse. You are clearly going through more than enough, so look after yourself. Sending a virtual hug to you and your doggy as it all sounds horrid. Thank you so much, it is dearly appreciated. 3. It's not your fault. There's only so many things your brain can process at once. Think about what information you gave them. The thing I'd be worried about is identity theft. Depending on what country you live in, you might be able to freeze your credit. I'm really sorry about your situation right now. That sounds incredibly hard and stressful. Nobody could blame you for accidentally being taken in by people who lied to you. Thank you so much. I called my bank and they told me not to worry. I won't lose any money on this. They They'll immediately put it back on my account if anything happens. That made me really happy and calmed me. You are very kind, thank you so much. It's been really hard, but I am doing a bit better and I am seeing my therapist on Monday. Today I fucked up by drinking beard oil for the last 2 weeks. So I have recently been feeling very stressed and anxious about a number of different things going on in my life and decided to buy hemp oil. Weed is illegal in the UK where I live, so I thought this was the next best legal thing. What I didn't realize at the time was that my beard oil is in an almost identical bottle. I accidentally put the hemp oil next to it in my bathroom cabinet and I didn't know I still own beard oil. Honestly, thought it tasted very odd, but I did some googling and some people say that hemp oil doesn't taste great, so I just went with it thinking it would grow on me ironically. Anyways, turns out I've been drinking the beard oil by mistake and almost had an anxiety attack today when I realized my mistake. Image of how similar they both look. Too long didn't read. I thought my beard oil was actually hemp oil and it didn't help with my anxiety at all. Ha! I once served horseradish to my son. BC the Kraft horseradish and tartar sauce labels look almost the same. I've done that too, haha, but I was the victim in that situation again. Your stomach lining bout to look like an Amish dude. This is almost as funny as when my dad shampooed himself with car shampoo. My grandma was washing her hair with puppy shampoo for weeks. Once we all found out and asked how her new shampoo was, she said great, her head had finally stopped itching. We were totally mean and asked if she felt like her hair was soft and shiny now. It was then revealed that she'd been using the new dog's shampoo for weeks. She just shrugged and laughed it off like everything else. This is a sad story. How's your beard doing? It still looks terrible. Also, I've been coughing a lot more recently. Either it's because I've been vaping a lot more while trying out hemp vape liquid because the oil certainly wasn't working, or it's because I've grown an extra beard where my lungs should be. I drank about 8 ounces of diesel fuel. I just passed it. My bathroom smelled like a gas station for a day, but I survived. Holy shit dude, you gotta get your kidneys and liver checked. That's gotta be terrible. And also, how did you not taste it going down?